to Lesson 13, Mindful Division. So in Lesson 12, we were talking about how multiplication is repeated addition. Well, division is repeated subtraction. And in order to be able to divide with decimals, we need to know how to convert, only in the opposite way we were converting when we were talking about multiplication. For example, in multiplication, there might have been 19 in the tenths place, and we know that we cannot have more than 9 in a place value. So we needed to take 10 of those 19 and create a group of one whole. And so we would have 1 in the ones place and 9 in the tenths place. Well, we're going to be doing that backwards for division. So we need to know how many tenths there are altogether. Tenths are like dimes, so we could think of this as if we had $3.40, how many dimes would that make? Well, we know that there are 10 tenths in a 1, or 10 dimes in a dollar. And so if I have 3 here, if I multiply that times 10, then that tells me that it would be 30 tenths plus the 4 I already had. And so 3 and 4 tenths would be the same as having 34 tenths. This is going to be helpful when we're dividing. So now let's take a look at a problem. My problem is 1 6/10 divided by 2. And I need to know first how many tenths are in that 1 6/10. So just like I did with the 3.4, I am going to find out how many tenths are in 1 6/10. Well, I know in the ones place that is 10 times bigger than the tenths place. So that 1 would be times 10 plus the 6 that I already have, so that would be 16 tenths. Now that I know that this is 16 tenths, I can divide this by 2 and find out how many tenths. So what do you think? How many tenths would be in each group if we divided 16 tenths by 2? If you said 8 tenths, you are correct. So now that I have 16 tenths divided by 2, then I know that 1 6/10 divided by 2 is equal to 16 tenths divided by 2, which was equal to 8 tenths. And if I were to write this in the standard form, I would have my 8 in the tenths place, and that would be my answer. 1 6/10 divided by 2 is 8 tenths. So now let's look at it in a different way. So let's say that we have 3 groups that we need to split into tenths, and we have 1 8/10 altogether. So how many groups of tenths, if we have 3 groups, is going to equal 1 8/10? Okay, so let's think about this. This is written a little backwards from what we did before. What we're really wanting to know is 1 8/10 divided into 3 groups is how many tenths in each group. So again, I want to convert this so that I have tenths. So if I were to take this 1, multiply it by 10 plus 8, that gives me 18 tenths. and I'm going to divide that by 3. 18 divided by 3 is what? That's right, it is 6. I know that 1 8/10 divided by 3 equals 6/10. And I'm going to write that in standard form. I hope that helps.